What's the status of the fight at the White House?
I don't really know. It's kind of out of my control right now. I'm training for the event. I'll be ready for the event.
Think
That's my
Jon
goal.
would do in the next couple of months that would make me on the White House card.
I would not trust him to fight Aspinall on that card.
If I had to make odds, it's a 1 that I put Jon Jones on the White House card.
Ciryl Gane, who's 6'5", 247 pounds, moves like 170 pounds. He's bouncing like Wonderful. Completely changed the standard of heavyweight striking.
Former heavyweight champion Jon Jones is still looking to return to the UFC to fight at the White House Card in 2026. However, the MMA legend has not received a positive response from the promotion so far. In a recent interview, he clarified that he is not retired and continues to train 5 days a week while staying active in the UFC's drug testing pool, adding that he is preparing for the event and will be ready if called upon, though the final decision rests with Dana White.
First and foremost, are you retired?
I'm not retired. I'm active training 5 days a week. I'm in the UFC drug testing.
Great. And what's the status of the fight at the White House?
I don't really know. It's kind of out of my control right now. I'm training for the event. I'll be ready for the event. That's my goal. That's my intention. But ultimately, it's up to the ball.
However, Dana White completely dismissed the idea of putting Jon Jones on the White House card, explaining that it was not about Jones winning a belt, but about the risks involved, adding that he could not take the chance of giving Jones such a high-profile spot and then having something go wrong, especially when an event as important as the White House.
Even about him winning the belt, I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong, especially the White House.
The heavyweight division is currently looking stacked as new champion Tom Aspinall prepares to defend his title for the first time against Ciryl Gane at UFC 321 on October 25th, while Joe Rogan highlighted how Gane, despite being a massive heavyweight at 6 feet 5 inches and nearly 250 pounds, moves with surprising speed and fluidity, even comparing his footwork to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's, noting that Gane has changed the way striking is viewed in the division and questioning whether that skill set will be enough.
Who's 6'5", 247 pounds, moves like 170 pounds. He's bouncing like Wonderful. Completely changed the standard of heavyweight striking.
Tom Aspinall also voiced confidence.
Aspinall voiced confidence that he could match Ciryl Gane's speed and footwork while holding a clear advantage in grappling and power, reminding everyone that his knockout record speaks for itself and noting that a single clean shot from him could end the fight at any moment. He added that in his previous performance, he was conserving energy for a 5-round fight and not even throwing with full power, yet still managed to score a knockout, proving just how dangerous his strike.
I match up pretty well against him. I think I'm equally as fast as him. I move equally as well. The difference is I can grapple. I've got a lot of power. And I think that's pretty undeniable at this stage of my career. I've got a lot of knockouts on my record, mate. I have to touch you once, and I wasn't even throwing heavy tonight. I thought it was going to be a 5-rounder. I didn't mean to knock him out. I was pretty sure that was going to be a 5-round fight tonight, and just takes one shot, mate.
Tom Aspinall reflected on finally getting the matchup with Ciryl Gane after more than a year delays, noting that this will be the 4th time they've been scheduled to fight, with the bout set for October 25th in Abu Dhabi, and stated that his mission is to put an end to his rival's title hopes and ambitions once and for all.
However,
Tom Aspinall explained that while some fighters look impressive in training but falter under the lights, he thrives when the pressure is highest, adding that the talk and hype leading up to his October 25th clash with Ciryl Gane mean nothing, as the fight will ultimately be decided by who performs when it truly counts.
Back after over a year hiatus. Ciryl finally signed on the dotted line. This is the 4th time we've been matched up together, and now we are matched up for the 25th of October, Abu Dhabi. Me and Ciryl. The 4th attempt is here, and this is Cyryl's 3rd title shot. We are going to try and get rid of Ciryl Gane from the title picture.
On the other hand, Ciryl Gane has been focused on building explosive power in his camp, working on tightening his punches, diversifying his attacks, and fine-tuning his footwork, showcasing the blend of strength and technique that makes him a constant threat in the heavyweight division.
Heavyweight that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if Jon Jones wants to come back and reclaim that belt once he gets.
Kamaru
Usman noted that Ciryl Gane doesn't always get the credit he deserves despite being a well-rounded fighter with fluid movement, effective striking, and dangerous weapons across the board. But he also praised Tom Aspinall's speed, sharp boxing, and knockout power, saying those qualities make it difficult to bet against him, and concluded that their clash is a true high-level
The
battle.
guys who I've trained with, from my experience, who in the gym are absolute world beaters, and they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up. It doesn't work like it does in the gym. Fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself. Anytime there's pressure on me, that's when I've done my most devastating performances. Oh, talk to me, mate. Doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, we're both going to take our shirts off, get a pair of gloves on, and go in there and see who wins on October 25th. So it's not really going to affect
On the
anything.
other hand, Henry Cejudo views Tom Aspinall's matchup with Ciryl Gane as a major step, pointing to Gane's size and mobility, and arguing that Aspinall will not be able to dominate in the way he has past opponents. Cejudo added that this fight is a true test for Aspinall, and could also determine whether Jon Jones intends to return for the title.
People forget how fantastic he is. A guy that can cut out the gun, touch you, kick you, hit you with elbow. He's just a complete game. But man, Tom's movement, his boxing, speed, and his power. It's very, very difficult to doubt this man anymore.
Similarly, Daniel Cormier said it is exciting to finally see Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane set to fight after fans have waited a long time, noting that the odds currently list Aspinall at -325 and Gane at +265. Though in his view the matchup is much closer than the numbers.
Finally got Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane. We've been screaming about this Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane for a long time. UFC 321, Tom -325, Gane plus. Finally got the fight. But the world doesn't seem to believe, and I don't really agree with that line. I think this fight is much closer. Tom Aspinall -325, Ciryl Gane plus 265.
Michael Bisping highlighted Tom Aspinall's impressive run to the heavyweight division, pointing to his knockout wins over Curtis Blades, Sergey Pavlovich, and Alexander Volkov, but cautioned that Ciryl Gane presents a different kind of challenge with his rare combination of speed, size, and athleticism. Bisping even compared both men to a heavyweight version of Georges St. Pierre, praising their complete skill sets, while adding that although Gane's striking and movement are elite, his grappling flaws, exposed by Jon Jones, could once again be his downfall against Aspinall.
Look at the UFC heavyweight rankings. As I say, Tom has beat most of them, and he's beat them in style, and he's knocked them all out. Curtis Blades, Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, whoever they are, he's beaten them all up. But Ciryl Gane is a little bit different. Now, of course, Jon Jones beat Ciryl Gane in quick fashion, took him down in the first round, submitted him with a front choke. But Ciryl Gane is the same as Tom Aspinall in terms of athletic ability. When I say that Tom Aspinall is a heavyweight Georges St. Pierre, that kind of goes to Ciryl Gane as well. The man's gigantic. He's very quick. He's agile. He's light on his feet. He could run any sport on the planet. And he's almost like Georges St. Pierre and Tom Aspinall in the fact that he's got all those athletic attributes, qualities, but he doesn't have the grappling. That's what cost him against Jon Jones, and that's probably what's going to cost him against Tom Aspinall. You never know. He could clip him. This is a dangerous fight. This is heavyweight MMA.
Michael Bisping pointed out that Tom Aspinall's grappling, sharpened since his teenage years under his father's coaching, could be the key factor in this fight. While he acknowledged the danger of Ciryl Gane's striking and admitted that heavyweight bouts can change in an instant, Bisping leaned toward Aspinall to get the win. He also suggested that Jon Jones will be paying close attention, eager to weigh in if Aspinall falls short of the dominant performance Jones delivered against.
Aspinall can grapple. We've seen him take people down. He's done jiu-jitsu since he was about 15 years old. His dad is going to be on his case, and that's an absolute fact, saying, hey, you're not messing with this guy. Take him down, show him what you can do, show the world your grappling capability. Remember, Ciryl Gane turned Francis Ngannou into a wrestler, okay? So he's a very, very credible threat on the feet. But of course, I do fancy Tom Aspinall to get the job done. The fact that he isn't fighting Jon Jones is insane, but we've talked about that till the cows come home, so I'm not going to bore you on that subject anymore. But just you wait. Jon Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter. If he doesn't beat Ciryl Gane as fast as what Jon did, Guaranteed, we're going to get some.
Matt Brown noted that while both fighters face pressure, Tom Aspinall carries the bigger burden given the state of the heavyweight division and what is at stake for his legacy. He explained that a win for Ciryl Gane could damage the division's credibility, whereas Aspinall has the opportunity to establish himself as the standout heavyweight, adding that even a close fight or a minor setback for Aspinall could influence how the division is perceived and affect his standing.
It's an unfair comparison, right? Then we talk about pressure versus pressure. Everybody's under tremendous pressure. But I guess when you kind of look at it from not just pressure, but potential legacy and career and what's on the line, I think it's hard to not go with Tom Aspinall because the heavyweight division is on the line. If Gane goes in and beats him, no disrespect to Gane, love the guy, the heavyweight division loses a lot of respect. Even if Tom goes out there and it's a close fight or he gets dropped and then has to come back or something, like, the heavyweight division has so little respect right now, probably deservedly so, I think. You know, even with Gane getting his third title shot in a couple years, like, Tom has to show that he is the heavyweight division. You know, he has to prove that to the world. Like, I am, you know, the heavyweight division's not just, but like, I'm so good at the heavyweight division is, right? This is kind of his thing that he has to go out there and prove to the world.
So the outcome could play a role in shaping future matchups, including a potential showdown with Jon Jones, explaining that Jones will be watching closely for any weaknesses or mistakes from Tom Aspinall that could influence what comes next. With the heavyweight division already struggling for respect, Brown emphasized that this fight marks a crucial moment in Aspinall's
already is not respected. That brings Tom down significantly, I think, right? And of course, you know, the potential Jon Jones fight, which is whatever, who knows, right? Like, how he beats Gane, assuming he does, may play a factor too. Like, if it turns out to be a close fight, again, John's going to be on his phone with Twitter open watching this fight, like, just waiting for Tom to fuck up and get dropped, get leg kicked and limping a little bit, or, you know what I mean?
Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall's father revealed that the foundation of his son's style has always been built on avoiding damage, explaining that from a young age, Tom was taught to dodge punches quickly by moving his head and feet with speed. He emphasized that the focus was on enjoying the sport while developing the skill to avoid getting hit, admitting that if Tom had been the type to take too many shots, he would have pulled him out early, as a fighter cannot sustain heavy head damage for long. Instead, their training centered on defense and evasion, which later became a defining part of Tom's career.
So that was when he was a kid, was what it was all. His kids now. You know, you touch his kids and so you teach them that very early. Don't let them touch you. So that was paramount in what he had to learn. So it was about being quick, you got to move your head fast, you got to move your legs fast. So it's always been about trying to enjoy it and trying to be good at it. If he wasn't good at it, I'm not stupid. And if he'd have got hit in the head a lot, he certainly wouldn't have been doing it. Or would have fallen out. And I'd have said, go and do it. You'll end up not too happy when you get older. You know, you can't get punched in the head all the time. So that happens as little as we can. For everybody in the gym, we don't want any of them getting punched. So we train a lot of evading being punched. And speed's really important.
This video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with all the latest MMA news, fight breakdowns, and analysis. And make sure to share it with your friends so more fans can join us in enjoying the biggest moments from the world of combat sports.